Hi, I'm Yui Shu.
And I'm Julie Kraftchick.
We're active daters turned dating insiders.
Here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to Dateable. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Brunch Talk.
I am so hungry for another great dating question.
You're hungry now?
Can't get enough.
Are you all hungry at home too for some dating conundrums that we're going to get to the bottom of and try to give some perspective to? We've spoken to thousands of daters, so we've seen almost every configuration, every scenario there is. For you all to know that whatever you're going through, you're not alone.
Nope.
And also whatever you're going through, we have a framework for you to think about so that you can find your way out of the conundrum.
Honestly, when we started Dateable, I feel like one of the biggest aha moments for me was I'm not the only one dealing with this. So I think for so long, like before podcasts were readily available, like you were kind of in your own silo.
Yeah.
And I was like around all these like friends that had figured it out. And I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Like, why can't I get a third date? So I'm really glad that we're able to normalize a lot of these questions.
And we're going to normalize this question because we know for sure you're not alone in what you're going through. The question is, should I wait for someone who is currently working through some stuff?
And for more context, my boyfriend broke up with me due to mental health / getting his shit together. Ideally, he would like to come back when he is better, but the pressure of waiting is a lot. I want him to come back so bad, but there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. I'm really struggling to move on though, because the breakup wasn't due to lack of love. Should I wait for him? Or if not, how can I let this go? I'm trying so hard, but it feels impossible.
This is probably one of the toughest breakup scenarios there is because it's not lack of feelings. It's not something that's out of your control. It's not lack of connection. It's purely due to environmental factors, mental health, or someone's current schedule, or they're working through ailing parents and they're helping out friends, or there's so many different ways for someone to be pulled away from a relationship that has nothing to do with you. They still want to be with you, and it's heartbreaking. So I totally understand why this listener is really conflicted about this.
I mean, I was here for like 5 years, so I get it. Like I was in a very similar situation. And this listener did actually reach out on Instagram knowing that I had been in a similar situation. And I think I took the path of waiting, and it was subconscious to some degree. Like I really believe that this person was the one.
Yes.
And we just needed to get through this issue. They needed to deal with their own stuff, and then we could be together. And like I accepted a breakup, but it was like this on again, off again situation. And I was like dating other people, but they were always there at the back of my mind. It just really prevented me from moving forward. So my take on this, as someone that did wait, I would not recommend waiting. I think if they are going to deal with all their stuff, like the time will come if it's meant to be. And I know that sounds so like vague, but I really believe that. And I think too, getting away from like that situation now, I saw that there were more compatibilities than just the mental health thing. And I think had I not moved forward, I wouldn't have realized too that like building a committed relationship is already really hard with someone that wants to be all in and fully invested because, you know, you're just taking two different people, mindsets, the way they process information in the world. Relationships are hard, as we've talked about on different Dateable episodes, including the one that we aired recently with Todd Baratz. And I think it's an uphill battle to do this with someone that's already not all in.
I'm glad you can offer that perspective because you are shedding light on what happens if you do wait. And maybe some people don't want to hear that, right? You probably wouldn't have wanted to hear that when you were all in on the waiting. So obviously, our listener, you decide what you want to do. And you probably already have a very strong idea of what you want to do. You know what the answer is, but you have a strong idea of what you want to do. But here's a way to look at this that I think is very much related to what Julie was saying, is when you are waiting for someone, to make these changes or for their situation to change. What are you giving up? They may be working on something. They are progressing, hopefully. What are you doing? Are you putting your life on pause? Are you sitting back, waiting for this person? Are you going on dates just to fill time in order to wait for this person to come back? Are you sacrificing in this waiting period? Most of the time, I would say probably yes. You are sacrificing your life. You're sacrificing your own progression. Also, when you wait for someone to work on their own shit, when they do come back, if they come back, they are a different person. So I would say there is no such thing as waiting. You're not waiting for the same person to come back. So if they are to come back to you after they've worked on their stuff, they're coming back as a new person and your relationship is a new relationship. So therefore, that relationship needs to start over. The entire process, like from the beginning of like the courtship and the dating, it can't pick back up where you left off.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That can never happen.
Like the Kylie and Mark Groves relationship 2.0 that we've had a few episodes on.
Yes.
I think the waiting thing is so interesting because like I feel like in the moment, I didn't necessarily feel like I was waiting because I was like moving on with life. I mean, there was a period I was severely depressed, but that's the point. But I think there was a period that I was.
She says with a laugh.
But like,
hello. I mean, like, let's not diminish
that's
that,
true.
though. You
That's
went
true.
through a lot where you took yourself out of the dating market because you were not consciously waiting, but you paused your life.
100%. 100%. Thank you for reeling that back in because I think that is important. But I think what I'm saying too is like, even if you are moving on and dating, if you are occupying space or the belief that this person is the one, you are still waiting.
Yes.
Because it is near impossible to form a deeper connection. I think I went into dates thinking, can I meet someone that I like better than my ex? Like, can I like move forward that way? Opposed to just being like, I'm going to like put that in the past and move forward and meet people who they are. If you're going into dates comparing them to someone else, that is not a setup for success scenario in any way.
No, it's not fair for the other person either. That's just like,
no.
You don't want to put people in that situation. So what are some ways that you can tackle this? If you don't want to give up this person, there are some guidelines you can set up for this quote unquote waiting period. I truly believe in the no contact rule. Like, you got to work on your own shit. I can't be there to support you. And I think something that you suffered through, Julie, was that you felt like bad for this person. So you wanted to be there for them, even during a period of not being together. And that's so much emotional burden on you to take on.
100%. And I think though too, the no contact is important, but I did no contact. But in my mind, I was like, oh, 30 days, he'll be back after that.
Yeah.
You can't have that mental. It has to be no contact so I can move on with my life. I think that is the shift. I want to go into that shift a lot more. But before we do, let's take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Have you heard the stat that we're eating a credit card worth of plastic a week? That's why I made the switch to Blue Land across all cleaning products around my house. Blue Land's products meet the highest standard of clean. They're effective yet gentle on my family and planet. Blue Land was also named an EPA Safer Choice Partner of the Year. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaners to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blue Land's formulas are 100% microplastic free, made with certified clean ingredients, free from chlorine, bleach, and harsh chemicals that are safe to use around my family. I love not having to choose between the safe option and what actually gets the house clean. And that is why Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including mine. Obsessed with the laundry tablets because they make laundry a breeze and lift even the toughest stains. Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/dateable. You won't want to miss this. blueland.com/dateable for 15% off. With summer in full swing, it's time for a closet refresh, but I'm trying not to waste money on pieces I'll only wear for just one season. That's where Quince comes in. Their clothes are timeless, feel luxurious, look elevated, and the quality is way beyond what you'd expect for the price. Think 100% European linen tops starting at get $30, washable silk dresses and skirts, and soft cotton sweaters. And the best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands because Quince works directly with top artisans and cuts out the middleman. I've been on a bit of a shopping spree with Quince lately. I got some wide-leg jeans that are perfect for evenings that will take me well into fall, and European linen pants that are so lightweight and perfect for that summer warm weather. So give your summer closet an upgrade with Quince. Go to quince.com/dateable for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/dateable to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/dateable. The shift that I've learned years later is, how do you put yourself at the center of dating? Because like you were saying, I was still catering to this other person, and actually reflecting on that relationship all these years later, my needs were so suppressed in that relationship
Mhm.
because they had so many needs of, all the things that needed to get figured out. So I think what I would do for this person is really think about, what do you want in a relationship? Not this person, just in general. What are the feelings you want in a relationship? What are the day-to-day activities? How do you want to celebrate occasions? Like all the, wildest things that you want to create what an ideal relationship looks like for you. And then really take inventory and take this person off the pedestal, right? Like, are they actually
Yes.
doing this? Or are you just caught up in this feeling of love? Because ultimately, if they can't meet your needs, then like, how are you going to be in a full-blown relationship with them? Like, I hate saying this, but like, I feel like every year around my birthday, we were like conveniently off,
Uh,
my ex and I never got anything from him, like zero.
mm,
And I'm like, not even like a text on my birthday sometimes. That's nuts. Like, thinking about that, I'm like, that is not the relationship I wanted, but I excused it because I was like, oh, he's going through his own stuff,
uh-huh.
like all that. And it's like, if I really thought about like, what do I want in a relationship? I want the guy that's planning my birthday dinner and taking me
Yes.
out. And this is a huge priority for them, which is my current partner. And, like, I
Yes.
really believe I would have met someone like my current partner years earlier had I not been holding on to my ex. I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Everything still works out for a reason, but I really believe that was the downfall of why I met someone a little later in life.
And again, just really revealing the other side of this scenario, which is like, and Mark Groves talked about this too. When you have the person in a relationship who's quote unquote the broken one, the one that's working on shit, they lean into that identity even more in a relationship. So then the entire relationship caters to the broken one.
Yes.
The one who is not broken has to suppress their needs, has to cater, has to sacrifice. And then that's going to build up so much resentment because at some point you're going to realize, what have I been doing for myself? And what has this relationship done for me? And part of what you're saying, Julie, is such a loud statement is, what do you need, listener? What do
I
you want
know.
in a relationship? Everything, this entire question is about the other person. What do you need in a relationship? The answer is not, do you want this person? No, it's not a person thing. What do you want and what do you need in a relationship? And is this person able to fulfill that for you? It doesn't sound like they're able to.
No.
If you are at a crossroads right now, ask yourself this question: what would I do right now if I prioritize myself? What is the action I would take right now if I prioritize myself?
I also feel like if this person does come back in your life, and I'm always like hesitant to say this because I don't want to like give that hope. Looking at like the Mark Groves and Kylie situation, they really did take that time apart to work through their own stuff. And I remember Mark saying this on the episode, like he wasn't attached to it being Kylie
Yes.
as his next partner.
Yes.
He was attached to who would be the right partner for him. And it so happened to be Kylie. So if this person comes back, they can devote the time to you, they can commit to a relationship, then that is a different scenario. But you're not going to lose something Like, I think I had this fear, like, if I don't hold on a little, it'll, like, work out with someone else.
No.
I can assure you that's not the
No.
case.
No.
It's not the case. I have many proof points that that is not the case from
No.
multiple different partners that, like, were not able to be all in. And I think another piece too, I realized, because this was a pattern for me, I don't think it was to the extreme of this last relationship, but like I always picked these people that weren't fully committed, that weren't fully
Mhm.
all in. So I could be like, that's the reason why the relationship isn't working out,
Mm.
instead of looking at my own stuff. And I'm really grateful for this relationship because it's what got me to therapy. And honestly, I don't even know if I would have done this podcast had it not been for them, because I think
There you go.
the levels of insightfulness grew from this experience. So it can be a gift if you use it, but like, how do you just keep yourself at the forefront and kind of like have the confidence to like let whatever's going to play out, play out?
Yes, give yourself some grace because the number of people I've told to not wait and who ended up waiting is probably like 90% of the people I've talked to because you already know what
I
you're going to
know.
do. So
You got to come on your own time too.
you do. You do. Like we can tell you, you know exactly what the quote unquote right thing to do. You know what we're going to tell you to do, but you're already going to do what you're going to do. So you have to be prepared for what's in store. And then also take it as a learning opportunity. The heartbreak that's going to come with waiting. Yeah. Use that opportunity to expand your heart.
I think like just taking this person off the pedestal though is really important, because
Yes.
I feel like you can get so caught in this. Definitely happened to me, as someone that has a vivid imagination too. You kind of forget all the bad things and you like
Yes.
only remember the good about the relationship and the feelings of, happiness and excitement and all the highs, and you forget the lows.
Yes.
Like when I was replaying this relationship, I wasn't thinking about my birthday. I was thinking about like the amazing dates and times we had together and moments and how this person was the one. And then, yeah, like once they fixed all their stuff, then of course the other stuff would come. But that's not true, right? Like people show up the way that they are. And I think like looking back on my situation years later too is, yes, it was mental health stuff. I don't want to say it wasn't. But at the end of the day, people commit to what they want to commit to.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean there's something flawed with you. Like I think my ex just could not commit. Like I really don't think he could.
Mhm.
He was in the place to commit to the type of relationship I wanted and knew that. So your ex might be the same. But looking back, it's a commitment thing. Like I
Mhm.
want someone that's all in, that's committed to a relationship, that can meet my needs and I can meet theirs. And like, how can you reframe that? And I think that will at least intellectualize it. It's not going to like remove the feelings necessarily.
Oh, yeah. Nothing's gonna remove the feelings except for time. Oh,
Time
time.
does. Yes.
Time will do the trick. But in the meantime, yes, be nice, be kind to yourself. Ask, what do you need in this process? Prioritize your needs. And also just know this is all gonna be a great learning opportunity as hindsight is 2020. And you'll be telling a story like Julie one day.
And I think actually, like, the one thing I'll say too of how it can help you into your search for love is that it showed me the qualities that I wasn't emphasizing before. I've said this before,
Mm,
consistency, because my partner, my ex, was not consistent at all. It was so different day to day.
yes.
And I think that became something that I looked at in the core of what I wanted. And of course, there were many other things too. It wasn't just that. But I really believe like without consistency, you can't build a long-term committed relationship. Like that is the baseline. So it made looking for that in my next partner the baseline. Like, of course, if they were consistent in nothing else, then I wouldn't date them. But if they were consistent, then at least I could
Great point.
expand to get to know them and see if it was the right fit.
Yeah. Well, thanks for this question for our listeners. You can email us your questions, hello@dateablepodcast.com. You can DM us on Instagram at Dateable Podcast, or you can leave us a rating and review. This is the best option, by the way, so listen up. In Apple Podcast, give us 5 stars. In the body of your review, ask us a question there. And if you pre-ordered our book, How to Be Dateable, coming out in January 2025, then we will bump up your question to the top of the list. So we'll answer it next week, as early as next week. That's how fast we go.
And make sure to subscribe so you get all of our long form content as well, and a quickie when we drop them.
All right. See you all next week.
Bye.